Hello everyone, Vegan Mark here. I want to talk to you about weight loss and for people who have to manage their weight because they're overweight. So this is a vast topic which has been covered extensively by people such as Dr. Jeff Novick and Dr. Michael Greger. I'm not sure how vegan Dr. Jeff Novick is, but I have watched one of his lectures on calorific density, and I find it very, very useful. And it's probably the best one that I've ever watched, although I haven't watched very many. I've seen maybe a few videos by Dr. Michael Greger, and they are also very, very good, and talk about the same basic things. All of these nutritionists have the same thing in common. Generally speaking, they all advocate a whole foods, plant-based diet. So this is a diet where you use whole foods, vegan foods, without non-processed foods. I think canned foods are okay, but you might have beans, you might have lentils, tofu for your protein. You might have lots of fruits and veggies. So I want to talk about intermittent fasting, and I want to talk about calorific density. Calorific density is the most important concept in dieting, in my opinion. It deals with the fact that you can feel full while eating fewer calories when you're eating fresh vegetables, particularly. Fruits to some extent are important as well, but not so healthy when you're eating a lot of them. Although I know that there are some fruitarians who get by very well. I haven't been able to prove the science on that, so I don't recommend fruitarianism particularly. But I do recommend our plant-based diet with lots and lots of vegetables. So calorific density basically means how much of a food, based on volume, how many calories a food has based on volume. So if you look at vegetables, for example, you'll see that a vegetable like broccoli has, say, 100 calories per I don't know how many, it's 100 grams or something. Whereas if you look at chocolate, it has 500 calories per 100 grams. So as you can see, if you eat a lot of vegetables, you'll be full quicker, and you won't have to eat so much of it. Well, you can eat more of it, and you won't get overweight because you can basically lie around all day and do whatever you like and not even exercise, and you'll still lose weight on a plant-based diet like that, with unprocessed foods, whole food plant-based diet. So that's the theory, and it's very basic, and it just means that you have to stick to eating a lot of vegetables for your meals. One of the things that is recommended by Dr. Jeff Novick also is he found that people who ate soup, vegetable soup as an entree, tends to eat less for their main course. This is a very good point to remember. Eat a lot of soup as your entree. If you want to eat soup for the entire meal, that's good as well. You might have hot, entirely vegetable soup. And incidentally, vegetable soup is something that I haven't cooked for a long time, and I should get back into that because it's really, really good for you, and it tastes really, really good. So what better to make vegetable soup with a bit of hot water, put some vegetables, chopped vegetables inside, and stir it around, and put some vegetable stock maybe. But apart from that, it's very easy to make a meal like that, and it's very filling as well. So what I'm saying is basically, if you decide, for example, to have a packet of chips for your lunch on top of your other meal, like you might have vegetables and you might have a packet of chips on top of that, the packet of chips will greatly expand the number of calories that you're eating. Even if you're eating a small packet of chips, it will still greatly contribute to the number of calories that you eat in that meal. So that's why we avoid eating anything other than whole foods, plant-based foods. The other thing I want to mention is intermittent fasting. Now this was something that I invented myself, but it was reinforced by the concepts which were lectured on by a Dr. Eric Berg, who you can look up on YouTube. Dr. Eric Berg talks a lot about intermittent fasting, and I don't know if he's the main protagonist of this particular type of dieting, but Intermittent fasting is basically where you fast for 19 hours a day and eat in a 5 hour window every day. That can vary. You can start off with a larger window. Say that you normally like to have breakfast. You might delay breakfast until 10 o'clock on a particular day and decide to eat from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock at night, for example, and not eat anything out of those times. But but you might gradually reduce that window to such an extent that you eat only between the hours of 12 and 5, which is what I'm doing now with my diet. I only eat within a window of 5 hours a day. So for the rest of the day my body is at rest. It doesn't have to produce insulin to consume all that food, and so my blood sugar levels are kept at a low for most of the day, for the vast majority of the day. And if I could reduce that even more to like 3 hours a day, that would be even better, but I don't do that at the moment. Just showing you that intermittent fasting does work, and I have lost 30 kilos on the regimen that I've just described to you. So what else can I recommend? Just stick to whole foods, plant-based. Don't have anything else. Don't have meat, eggs, dairy, honey, anything that will stuff you up in the long term. Just stick to the whole foods, plant-based diet, and you'll be fine and dandy. And of course, look at it's recommended that you take a blood test as well. Blood tests can be important for a lot of people. If you suspect it or that you're feeling anemic or anything whatsoever, you're feeling like you're compromised at all, it's very important to take a blood test because they will tell you what nutrients or vitamins you're lacking in, and you can then decide what food you have to put into your diet or whether you need to take supplements at all. All vegans need to take B12 supplementation. That's a definite yes. And it's a complicated situation because animal products do contain B12, but that's B12 that has been injected into animal products or into the animals themselves at one stage of their lifetime. So the B12 that animal product eaters eat actually comes from injected B12. So that's a very artificial way of getting your B12. So the best way to get your B12 is definitely from a supplement such as a B12 spray. So just letting you know that that's the best way that you can fix up your diet with B12, whether you're vegan or not. So folks, that's been my lecture for today. I'm sorry it's been so incoherent, but I just wanted to show you my knowledge on having a diet that is sound and reasonable, and something that I've found very successful over the last 2 years of my life. So I feel much healthier and I feel much more energetic, and I'm feeling really good about myself as a vegan. So look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.